In today's equity index futures markets, let's look at the Nasdaq futures as they're continuing to move higher for a second day. Nasdaq futures coming off of some early selling pressure in the session, trading down to the lows from last Friday around 2,400 before finding some strength throughout the morning and continued strength in the afternoon. And now we're pushing back up towards the intraday highs, currently priced at 20,775, which is up about 0.75% on the day and holding on to a gain now for a second session. Driving factors, a couple of things I think influencing the markets. Early in the session, some geopolitical tensions caused some selling pressure, but then as we move through the session, similar to yesterday, it does appear that at least in the tech sector, there's some renewed strength here as we had some selling last week, but now we're seeing some renewed strength moving into some big earnings announcements highlighted by NVIDIA after the close tomorrow. And with that, just the tone in the tech sector appears to be supporting the Nasdaq and moving it higher here for a second session. Also, yields coming down a little bit for a second day. I think that's also helping to support the markets as we're seeing yields moderate and come a little bit lower in the last couple of days after peaking a couple of sessions ago. Now, looking at the general trends, the Nasdaq futures are coming off of the lowest level in about 2 weeks before finding this renewed strength here the last couple of days and maintaining some upside momentum, particularly when you look relative to the other major equity index futures markets where we're seeing the Nasdaq higher by about 0.75%, but the S&P up about 1/3% and the Russell up about 1/3%. But the Dow futures continue to struggle. So that rotation within the equity markets is another thing that's unfolding here the last couple of days, where we're seeing the Dow under some pressure, even with the Nasdaq and the S&P able to hold on to some gains here for 2 sessions in a row. So overall, some continued strength after early selling pressure, reaching the recent lows, coming off those lows, and now trading up to the highest level here in a couple of trading sessions as we're closing near the highs of the day.